Hey guys, welcome back. So, it's been a rough night even getting this started. I won't even lie. Tonight I'm going to make a 3D mandala, which I'm super excited about. But every time I've tried to make this, has happened. So, tonight we try again. This is day 8. Let's see. Day 8. It's been a long day. Mainly because I had to work earlier. So I haven't really had like a day off, so to say. It's been kind of a rough day. Just in that I did work all day, which I'm thankful for. I'm not complaining. Um, Besides that, everyone just kind of hung out. I made homemade egg rolls for dinner, which are really good. If you've never made homemade egg rolls, you should really try it. But we're going to make a mandala, a 3D mandala, which I'm super excited about because I've never been able to successfully do it. They look really cool. It's a great, little project for me. We're going to see how this goes though. Currently working with a Cricut Maker, which is kind of cool, and I'm going to use that blue mat, which is a light grip mat. Let's see, this one, I'm changing the color. I'm trying to get used to having to change colors and stuff because I'm not used to doing multicolor cuts on here. This is my first time ever doing it, so I'm kind of nervous because you have to like line them all up and make sure everything's the right size, and it's kind of intimidating. Because you only get one chance to like cut it right. But that's what we're gonna do. Okay, this looks cool already. So what are you guys doing to pass the time? Like, I feel like I am I don't know. It's so weird because I feel like we are in this weird space where things aren't where they're supposed to be. They're not. I almost feel like there's no end game right now. Does that make sense? Like, the goal is always to complete things, but I feel like right now there's not a way to complete anything. We're just going for now. We're just doing this for now. And I'm like, ugh. I don't like that. Like, I want things to be complete. And I like schedules, and it's hard to work on a schedule when you can't really have a schedule because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. And that is probably, to me right now, the most stressful part is not knowing what tomorrow is going to be. Working from home. I live in Jerusalem. Okay, Jeffrey, so you get it. Like, it's weird. Like, tomorrow's Monday. I know what tomorrow's supposed to look like. I'm supposed to get up in the morning. This is the first color of the mandala, by the way. I'm supposed to get up on Monday morning. My daughter goes to school. And then I come home. I normally have like project kickoff meetings. I have specific things that I have to do at a certain time. Monday, we don't have any extra lessons after school. So that means that on a normal Monday, I can load her up and come home. And now she's home all day tomorrow. Right? So it's this weird space where we don't know what, like, I know what tomorrow's going to look like, but what's Tuesday going to look like? Or what's Wednesday going to look like? Hello, Monique. I'm making something you are going to like. It is a 3D mandala. And I'm super stoked. There is some normalcy in the situation, but it's not my normal, if that makes sense. Like, normal for us is we get up, we have school, we have work, and we have tutoring. Mandala. I can't really show you a picture, I don't think. Hold on. Mandela. It's weird, Jeffrey. It's weird in that for me, I would stop by the grocery store a couple times a week on my way home from, because I have to go by there to go pick up my daughter. And I can't do that. I can't plan on being able to stop because we ran out of milk or because we ran out of bread. I have to be planned for a week in advance. If you hear something going, you're going to hear my cricket. But it's like, rather than thinking short term, we have to be thinking long term. And then, of course, every single time the TV goes off that there's a news conference, I feel like I need to be watching it, right? Yes, circular. This is a 3D. It's going to be really cool. Excuse my shirt. Like, let's... You know what? I think the hoarding in the U.S. has a lot to do with fear. I think it has to do with people just genuinely being scared. There's a lot of people like me who go to the grocery store every few days. Here's the bottom piece. You know, talking to my sister has 4 kids at home, and she is one that will just, she'll go to the store every day. Like, she lives and works in town, and it's nothing major if they need something. Well, she's went from being a corporate corporate mom who goes to work 5 days a week and picks kids up from daycare on the way home, to now being this weird mix of a stay-at-home, work-at-home, and she has kids that range from 4 to 16. So that's a new thing for her, and I can kind of see where she's like, okay, well, if this is the deal, then I'm not leaving my house for a week. And I think when you're told that, you tend to overbuy. Now me, I went to the store on Saturday, and let me tell you what happened. I went in the store, and I went for my mom and my grandmother, and that's the reason we're quarantined, is because we take care of them, and they're 82 and 60, and my mom has COPD, and so it would be deathly to them to get this, and we know that. That's why we're being careful. Well, I mean, this blows my mind, but they had a sign up that said cash only. All I had was my card and my credit card. That's all I carry. I don't carry cash. So on Saturday, to be told you can't buy anything threw me into an immediate panic. And in my brain, and I told my husband this, if I'd had $1,000 cash on me, I would have spent all of it on groceries, because I was told and really could see a limit on having groceries for my family. And it panicked me. Now, because I didn't have cash, and it wasn't just one store, it was the entire city was out. You couldn't use an ATM, you couldn't use a debit card, you couldn't use a credit card anywhere. And when I say it panicked me, that's the understatement of the year. Like, it threw me into a deep, oh crap. And it was just a situation like things are back and fixed now, but when you're told you can't, it's scary. And now there's a guy named Dr. John Williams that I follow here on YouTube, and he said that it's panic buying is now going on in the UK as well. It's not just in the US. I don't quite understand the toilet paper obsession. Oh yeah, and it wasn't. I mean, I live in a small town. I don't live in the big city. But when you're told you can't do something, and not everybody is like me, and I get that. I'm somebody who I have a, I don't want to say a food issue. It probably is, but my house is stocked because the idea of not having food freaks me out. I didn't grow up with a lot, and so I am always buying extra. And it's not just because of that, but it's also because I live quite a ways from town. So I go with the thought process of, let me just get it now. Then I don't have to come back to town. But we're also in a weird position here because we have a lot of people, myself included, to do this and don't do that. Don't do what? The hoarding? Because I'll definitely say people hoard here. This is the second layer of the mandala. People definitely hoard here. Actually, that's the third layer. But what's had me stressed out over it is when that happened, when I say it threw me for a loop, because I'm not so much just looking at myself, I'm thinking, okay, if this is going on right now, what if I can't buy for my mom? What if it's not right. Where I live right now, you cannot go eat inside of a restaurant. You have to get your food to go out. The stores are still open, except in like a couple of counties. Now, the specific county where I live, there are no cases. But the specific county where I live, there is nothing. And I know that sounds nuts, but it's true. There is nothing here. There are very few grocery stores, so if I go to the grocery store, I go to one of the 3 surrounding counties around me, and all 3 counties have cases. Well, Jeffrey, here each state gets to kind of determine their own regulations right now. It's not federalized, it's statewide. So the governor of Alabama, her name is Kay Ivey, came out and said that you couldn't go to anything non-essential. Yeah. Then, like, the entire state of California and New York, 2 of the biggest states, are on lockdown. 60 million people in New York are on lockdown. 60 million people are on lockdown. And, except for essential jobs. I know that some jobs even had to give their employees letters to show if they were to be pulled over on the way to work, stating why they're out and that they are out for an essential job. It's kind of scary. Like, it's really scary to me. Now, my husband and I don't work in essential fields. No. And it was weird because I went out Saturday. Like, to tell you a little bit more about my store, because I haven't seen you here before, my mom and my grandmother live in a separate home right down the street from me. They are on complete lockdown. They haven't left their house in a week. I have gone out in public. I go to get their medication. I go to get their groceries. And then we sanitize everything. And then they get it and they sanitize it again after I walk away from it. It's super sad because my grandmother's 82nd birthday was this week and we couldn't give her a hug. But beyond that, we, like a lot of people here, still act like it's spring break. We have a lot of people who are completely ignoring regulations. And I complained last night because there's someone that has a lot of clout in the town where I live. And he's basically telling everyone it's all fake, it's all na. And this is someone I have to deal with. And I was like, don't come near me or mine. That's my statement about it. But it's kind of been a tough go. I went out to town Saturday. I said all of that to say this. I needed out of my house when I was in town. This was the second trip. And some people are going to say I shouldn't have gone, but one of the things I love about this time of the year is getting to cut my grass. And I needed a lawnmower belt. One store had it. I called ahead. They were not busy. So I went and got the lawnmower belt. And people were just out like it was a normal day. I have friends who are letting their kids go and do what they want. Mine's not. Mine is right here where she's supposed to be. We start virtual school tomorrow. The whole state, the schools are closed down until April 6th. We got a text from the music teacher saying that if anyone needed their instrument, the last time that the teachers were even allowed on campus was tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So, but yeah, this person came out and was like, oh, this is just a big hoax. This is a big political sham. And I was like, just shut up. It's weird. In Alabama, there are 189 cases. Yep, we can't visit. For my grandmother's birthday, I was working, but my sister and her kids took a birthday cake, and of course they cleaned the outside of it and did everything they could to sterilize it, and it was just like cupcakes or cake, I don't remember, with candles, and the kids stood outside and sang her happy birthday, and it's really sad. You know, it gets me sad because she's 82, and when it comes to strength in people, like, she's someone I draw strength from. She has been through more in her lifetime than I can ever imagine dealing with. And so to not be able to go in there and give her a hug on her birthday or hand her, I made this during a live this week. I wasn't able to hand it to her because, you know, and it breaks my heart. It absolutely does. Of course, hey, this is as much for me to be able to look back and see what I did to deal with it. You know, I don't know what this is going to bring. I don't know. Oh, I can't imagine, Monique. My grandmother, I had the joy 2 years ago, my sister and I took her entire family and mine. There were 12 of us in total, and including my mom and my grandmother, and took my grandmother to the beach for the first time in 50 years. And she truly is like a pillar for our family. Like, she has gone through so much. And so when it comes to doing this and staying, you know, locked down, I can't imagine bringing that back to her. I watched a TikTok with a lady who was had family in Italy, and she said that they are now having to make decisions over who gets ventilators. Is it the 30-year-old or the 80-year-old? And it's normally the 30-year-old. And I cannot Y'all, I'm telling you, somebody would have to come get me. I could not deal with that. I would struggle if I was the 30-year-old that got saved. Couldn't do it. It would break me if I knew somebody's grandma that, raised them or whatever had to die so that I could have a ventilator. Oh, I can't even imagine. It breaks my heart to think about it. I mean, I'm currently having to clean all these little things off. I can't imagine. It would tear me up. But can you imagine those people's family? Imagine, you're not even allowed to go in and see your family member. You don't know what's going on. I'm the person, like, my grandmother or my mom was in the hospital, and I have no problem going in there and acting a donkey. If I feel like their care isn't being right or they're not being treated properly. When my husband's grandmother was sick, I went in there and made an appointment with her doctor because I didn't like the treatment she was getting, and I said, we need to talk. But I don't know. I mean, they're saying that all these privatized companies are going to be making ventilators, which is amazing. That's fantastic. What? Thank you. Appreciate it. Go. Thank you. I'm so skeptical, and I'm terrified of what the weeks to come are going to look like. I in no way think that this is over. Every day our numbers are higher and higher. I don't think there's any way that this is going to calm down for weeks. I don't think schools are going to get to go back in because people won't listen, because people won't do social distancing. It's not hard. It's not hard. Now, I am sure that it is hard for people who are introverts. That ain't me. But I can't. I can't imagine. Alright. So here is okay. That's my plan for Tuesday. Here's the bottom. My plan for Tuesday is to go get some. I haven't done it yet. I haven't left my house again. But it is absolutely on my list of things that I must get accomplished. And that's just me being freaked out about it. I know I have to do, I have to go get cash. Like I said, it's on the list of things to get done. I wasn't able to get the groceries that my mom and my grandmother wanted. And it wasn't like it was life-saving groceries. And I said this last night. The groceries that they wanted were groceries to make banana bread. So it wasn't like essentials for a long period of time. But I'm a complete sucker when it comes to my grandmother. If she wants something, I have a hard time telling her no. And I may have to get harsher with that. But I just have a hard time telling her no. He is, but I think that I'm going to go get Cash and stuff when I go on Tuesday. I ended up ordering her groceries from Kroger because they were just super easier to just go pick them up. And then I figured I don't have to go in and deal with anybody. I can just zip in, pull in my car and load them up and I'll pull out. And then I hope I don't have to leave my house again. This whole thing just has me stressed. I'm struggling to go to sleep, and I just started another contract job that I have major meetings every day this week. So that's why I started a little bit earlier tonight, so I can get my crafting done. Because this really does help me relax. I didn't work on my puzzle at all today. Working on a really cool, like, vintage Mickey Mouse puzzle. I'll send you a picture, Monique. I'm not watching Netflix right now. I don't have a Netflix account. I love Amazon Prime because of the video options. I need something to sit on this. And I have been watching a bunch of YouTube. I really like Peter Mon, and I was watching his videos today. I'm not exactly sure what it is about Peter Mon, but his voice is very soothing to me. Like, I feel like I could just sit and listen to him read. And be okay. You come back home? You don't know? This thing is so wonky. Ooh, that is hot. I don't... Ooh, that's hot. A ring light's supposed to get hot like that? Oh, I don't know if it's that cube. That's not hot. That's weird and kind of scary. Anyway, so I'm not watching anything on Netflix. I used to love... My favorite series I've ever watched on Netflix when I did have it was... what is the one about Queen Elizabeth? The Reign? Something like that? I loved that series. I watched every one of them. Was it The Reign? But I did watch The Reign because I liked... Yep, Reign. That's such a great series. I have a weird obsession with the Queen Elizabeth. She's the one that I like. I don't really care for the rest of them, but I do like Queen Elizabeth. And that just started in the last few years. I didn't used to really care ever. But when I found out she was a car mechanic, I was like, oh, she's kind of cool. And, oh no. Hang on. But I like that one. At night I watch Prime has this like 5 seasons of I Love Lucy. Now I own every season of I Love Lucy, but Prime has it on there, and that's what I watch at night when I go to sleep. Once I convince myself to get off the TikTok, because the TikTok is addicting. Very, very, very addicting. But I don't know. I don't know that I really schedule anything anymore. Like, I get up and I work normally 8 to 4, 8 to 5. And then I do dinner, and then all of my extra stuff is all done at night. Like right now, my husband and my daughter are in there watching TV. For real? I think I'm out of glue sticks. Not even sure how that happens. But I have only been crafting here at night, and that's kind of been to ease my freak out. Because I get panicked. So, it's on Tuesday, I think. Yeah, it's on Tuesday. I have to look at the event. I think I sent you the event link. I think it's Tuesday. Fairly certain of that. That it's Tuesday at like 1 or 2 o'clock. That one is on Thursday. That one is one that I had planned for the youth kids, and I put it on YouTube because I thought it was like the easiest way to reach them because they all know my YouTube channel. And it worked. It was actually really nice. I like being able to interact with them. I haven't decided if I'm going to do the one on Tuesday on YouTube or on Zoom. May do it on YouTube this week and then do it on Zoom next week. Mainly for the reason of being able to interact with other people. But we're going to do it on a book I'm reading all about the authentic you. How to be the authentic you. It's really good. And that's a lot of what I've been teaching at youth too, is like how to be the authentic you. The you that God made you to be. Because many times we get so caught up in what the world wants us to be that we forget that God created each and every one of us with a purpose and with a reason. We will kind of get back on some kind of schedule tomorrow. My daughter will start her virtual classwork. So that's kind of exciting for me. And I'm hoping to clean up all this mess behind me. Aw, that's adorable. Okay, I'm super close to being done with this mandala. Ooh, hot glue on your fingertips. That's not quite centered. 2 more pieces and I'm done. I have this 3D owl, but when you do it, you're supposed to do it with wood, which my machine will cut wood. I watch some true crime. I haven't really gotten into a lot of it. I used to be huge with like Law and Order SVU. Now, I do... Oh, hey, that's hot. Oh. I do really, really like Cops. Weird, I know. Ooh. That came out very, very fast. Yeah, have been a Cops fan for a long time. So like the probably $15. It's kind of expensive to get started with it, but then once you have it, it's... I just like the idea that I can do it on my... Like, I can make my own. Alright. This is the last piece. Okay, so it still has a bunch of, oh gosh, right now it still has like lines on it, and this one's not perfect. I probably could have done my colors a little bit different, but put a cute centerpiece there. I think it's cute. And that took 38 minutes. Plus the 2 hours I spent working on the files. But I have this big 3D owl that I want to do, but I need to order balsa wood and glue sticks. I'm proud of it. Colors could have been a little bit better. But for the first try, I like it. I like it. All right. I don't know. I'll probably give it to my daughter. She has a ton of stuff hanging on the wall. All right. It is time for me to close out for tonight. Last thoughts. Day 8. It's not so much being home that bothers me. It's not having the option of going somewhere when I want to. Yeah, that's what sucks. All right, I will talk to you later, guys.